This land on which we gather is the traditional and unceded land of the Mi'kmaq and Wabanaki Confederacy people. We worship Creator on this land and acknowledge with respect the thousands of years of ceremony and relationship that are etched in footprint, fire, and faithfulness on the soil and rock that surrounds us.
Welcome to our Tenebrae service this morning. The Latin word tenebrae means darkness. And in this service, we will remember the darkness that came over the world when Jesus was crucified. As our service unfolds, candles will be extinguished as we remember the last hours of Jesus' life and the reality of his death and his final breath. As our service draws to a close, we will depart in silence. I'm Kathy Crooks, one of the ministers here at First United Church, and I'm honored to be leading worship this morning with my colleagues and friends, Reverend April Hart of Community United and Reverend Shannon McLean of St. Andrews United, and Chris Bowman, Minister of Music here at First United, and the First United Church Choir and friends. To all of you who have gathered here from Truro area churches, and to those of you who are worshiping with us via live stream, we extend a very warm welcome.
Let us join together in our opening, Let us join together in our opening litany. During this reading, there are pieces that I will read and pieces for you. Your pieces will be in bold on the screens. In the beginning, darkness covered the face of the deep. Then God said,
"Let there be light."
And there was light. And every day since, the light has come and gone. The moon has waxed and waned. In the beginning was the Word, which brought all things into being. What has come into being through the Word is life.
The light of all people.
The light shined in the darkness,
And the darkness did not overtake it.
when God made the light, when the light of all people came into the world, God did not send away the dark. God created the night for dreams and for clarity.
An excellent light.
Let us enter this holy darkness to bear witness to the light of the world who was extinguished by violence.
Let us worship our incarnate God.
Thank you.
The darkness comes to hold our grief, to touch our loss and bring relief. The darkness comes to ease our pain, to soothe our hurt like gentle rain. The darkness comes to hold our fear, to touch our thoughts and make them clear. The darkness comes to ease our shame, to free our guilt and banish
Reading from the Gospel named for Luke. While Jesus was still speaking, a crowd suddenly appeared with Judas, one of the 12, at their head. Judas came over to Jesus to embrace him, but Jesus said, "Judas, are you betraying the chosen one with a kiss?" Those who were around Jesus, realizing what was going to happen, said, "Rabbi, should we strike them with our swords?" One of them struck the attendant of the high priest, cutting off his right ear. But Jesus said, "Stop, no more of this." Then Jesus touched the attendant's ear and healed it. But to those who had come out against him, the chief priests, the chiefs of the temple guard, and the elders, Jesus said, "Why do you come out with swords and clubs, as though I were a robber? I was with you in the temple every day, and you could have laid hands on me any time you wanted. But this is your hour, the triumph of darkness."
Visio Divina is divine seeing. It's the practice of slowing down and spending some time with an image or a piece of art and reflecting on where the divine might show up. So let's take in a deep breath and open your hearts as we invite you into a time of prayerful contemplation as we look deeply at the art on our worship screens. First, take a moment and let your eyes move about the image. As I guide you, let your thoughts and your feelings open you to the divine. Now consider, at first glance, what stands out for you? What are your eyes immediately drawn to? What pieces of the image did you initially overlook? Look at the people, each person in this image. What stories or emotions do you imagine may be theirs? And what emotions do they evoke in you? Where would you place yourself in this image? How would you interact with all that surrounds you? Of this image entitled Revealed Through Non-Violence, Laura Wright Pittman, the artist, writes, "Begin at the center with Judas's kiss. intimate, subversively violent. Follow the sword behind Judas to the top left. A disciple fiercely defends Jesus, while at his right, the high priest's slave screams after his ear is cut. Jesus reproves the violence and heals the servant. Moving clockwise, a man who is representing the chief priests and tribal police points an accusatory finger, wielding the authority to kill an innocent man. To his right, a man crafts Jesus' cross, quietly sustaining the violence of the status quo. Below him, an opportunist casts his lots for Jesus' clothes, while the leader laughs at the impossibility that the Messiah will save himself. Finally, at the bottom left, a man offers Jesus sour wine in a moment of deep thirst, physical and spiritual. At the heart of all is Jesus, tearful, looking at us. A halo shines, revealing the many faces of violence around him. And finally, notice from the foundation of his steady posture grows an olive tree. Its branches extend beyond his clothing, reaching out to embrace those around him.
your sorrow is too much to bear, when your heart feels numb, unable to care, when faith seems so pointless that you cannot pray, when no one knows quite what to say, then hold on to find a way to get through. And when your hope is gone and you can't hold on, we will hold on to you. If God is silent when you need to hear that you're not alone, that comfort is near, if you are abandoned when you need a friend, when all good things come to an end, and hold on to find a way to get through. And when your hope is gone and you can't hold on, we will hold on to you. And when it looks like there's no end in sight, no, all that is wrong can still be made right. You're never alone. God has promised to stay with us as we find our new way. So hold on to find a way to get through. And when your hope is gone and you can't hold on, we will hold on to you.
Pilate then called together the chief priests, the ruling class, and the people, and said to them, "You brought this person before me as someone who incites people to rebellion. I have examined him in your presence and have found no basis for any charge against him rising from your allegations. Neither has Herod for Jesus, who has been sent by him back to us. Obviously, he has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, I will punish Jesus, and then I will release him." Pilate was obligated to release one prisoner to the people at festival time. The whole crowd cried out as one, "Take him away. We want Barabbas." Barabbas had been imprisoned for starting a riot in the city and for murder. Pilate wanted to release Jesus, so he addressed them again. But they shouted back, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Yet a third time, Pilate spoke to the crowd, "What wrong has this Jesus done? I have found nothing that calls for death. Therefore, I'll have him flogged, and then I'll release him." But they demanded that Jesus be crucified, and their shouts increased in volume. Pilate decided that their demands should be met. So he released Barabbas, the one who had been imprisoned for rioting and murder. And Jesus was handed over to the crowd.
In his book, What Will You Do with King Jesus?, James Harnish writes, "Is it possible that our world knows better how to deal with a bandit, a murderer, and insurrectionist than it knows what to do with the Prince of Peace? Is it possible that we would rather deal with raw power that rides on a stallion than with this one who comes on a donkey, with the weapons of love, patience, suffering, and peace? Given the choice, isn't it possible that we would take Barabbas too?" Friends, the Passion narrative invites us to place ourselves in the story, to examine our own complicity in cycles of violence. And the good news is, we don't have to do this alone. The one who made us knows our hearts, knows our failings, knows our best intentions. We don't have to hide. There's no need to save face. Let us simply turn to God in prayer with our whole hearts. Holy One, we can easily see ourselves in any number of people surrounding Jesus in his final days. We are Judas, betraying what we hold most dear for status, wealth, and security. We are the soldiers, using our power to maintain the status quo which serves us. We are the disciples, brandishing our weapons to fight violence with violence. And we are the high priest's servant, victims of a world hell-bent on winning. Messenger of peace, forgive us. We are Herod, finding our entertainment at the expense of other people's dignity. We are Pilate, excusing ourselves from the blame that is rightfully ours. We are the crowd, foaming at the mouth and demanding blood. And we are Barabbas, our lives spared while others are crucified.
Messenger of peace, forgive us.
Forgive us, we pray, for the parts we have played. Set us free, we pray, from the sin that chokes the world, threatening to extinguish all that is good and beautiful. Break the cycles of violence, step into the machinery of a world fueled by division and disrupt us. Forgive us, messenger of peace. Have mercy on us. Amen. Beloved communities of faith, the impossibly good news is that we are forgiven. No matter what we have or haven't done, our God is always waiting with open arms to receive us.
When they had reached the place called the Skull, they crucified Jesus there, together with the criminals, one on his right and one on his left. Then Jesus said, "Abba, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing." Then they divided his garments, rolling dice for them. The people stood there watching. The rulers, however, jeered him and said, "He saved others. Let him save himself. If he really is the Messiah of God, the chosen one." The soldiers also mocked him. They served Jesus sour wine and said, "If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself." There was an inscription above him that read, "This is the King of the Jews."
In her poem entitled Love and Love and Love Again, Reverend Sarah Speed writes these words: "If you back a cat into a corner, she'll arch her back, show her teeth, hiss in your direction. If you back a human into a corner, we'll raise our fists, raise our voices, throw words of hate in your direction. But when we backed Jesus into a corner, he said, 'Forgive them, for they know not what they do.' He turned and looked at Peter, love in his eyes. He offered grace to the criminal hanging beside him. When we backed Jesus into a corner, he loved and loved and loved again. In this war-torn world, we could do the same. We could ground the bomber planes, empty the gun cartridges, unclench our fists, and soften our jaws. They said, it can't be done. But don't believe them. In this war-torn world, we could try. Love and love and love again. As we gather here this morning, we are keenly aware, no doubt, of the violence and death that are raining down on our world. Military empires, economic empires, ideological empires are all claiming the lives of good and innocent people. In places far away, in places closer to home, and in places in between, hour by hour, day by day, month by month. Having lived in Minneapolis for many years, and having served congregations in that beautiful city, I am keenly aware, of course, of the violence and death that have been raining down on that beautiful city, hour by hour, day by day, in recent months. The world has watched as terror has unfolded in the streets of Minneapolis 12 weeks ago, 4 days after the killing of Renee Good, a peaceful observer. I spoke of that terror from this place. There is no question that Somali residents in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood of Minneapolis and at the Carmel Mall, an extraordinary, diverse collection of immigrant shops and markets, have faced a season unlike any other. Since December past, Operation Metro Surge has cast a shadow over Minneapolis, with federal ICE strike teams patrolling, detaining, and deporting brown-skinned people. The Somali community, many of whom are American citizens who have fled civil war years ago, have had to close shops, stay at home in fear. And the vibrant little Mogadishu has almost fallen silent. In this climate of invasion and occupation, the people seeking refuge fear once again that they will have no place to call home. The resistance has been subversive and scandalous to those in power. It hasn't been a centralized army. It has been a network of tea-bearing grandmothers and peacefully protesting children and youth and multi-faith leaders who refused to let fear take root, singing resistance to show that an attack on the Somali community is an attack on the soul of their city. Days after a targeted attack on his people, a gracious Somali elder handed a note to a peaceful observer in South Minneapolis, just blocks from the Cedar Riverside neighborhood where many of the Somali community reside. And in that note were written these words: "To the peaceful observers, our beloved guardian angels, in these times of trial, when darkness sought to engulf our community, you emerged as beacons of unwavering light. When fear gripped our hearts and the very fabric of our existence trembled under the shadow of masked agents, when we were hunted, chased, and made to feel as strangers in the place we call home, you stood tall, you stood with us. With courage that defied the chill of winter winds and compassion that warmed the coldest nights, you became our shield. You left the comfort of your daily lives, your workplaces, your routines to stand guard at our doors. You brought us the gift of warning, the loud sirens that pierced the silence of impending danger, giving us precious moments to seek shelter, to protect our children, to preserve our dignity. You did not merely observe, you acted. You confronted hatred face to face. You stood between us and agents of fear, becoming the voice for the voiceless, the strength for the weary, and the hope for the hopeless. In your presence, we found sanctuary. In your resolve, we found resilience. Your bravery is a testament to the boundless capacity of the human spirit. You stood against the tides of xenophobia, Islamophobia, and every form of prejudice that seeks to divide humanity. You embodied the highest ideals of human dignity, honor, and solidarity. You reminded us and the world that America's true strength lies in its embrace of those who seek refuge, its promise of freedom, and its unwavering stand for justice. Your sacrifice will echo through generations. We will tell our children, and they will tell theirs, of the guardian angels who stood tall when hate knocked at our doors. Your legacy is etched in the heart of our community, a living history of compassion without limits and courage without borders. You are the reason hope still shines. You are the reason this country remains a home for the persecuted, a land where freedom rings true. We love you. We honor you. We will never forget what you have done. May God bless you, protect you, and keep you close. Your light will forever guide us. With eternal gratitude, the community you saved, the Somali community. The courage of the peaceful observers, yes, even unto death, and the grace of that Somali elder, unsurpassed and holy. As we gather here this morning, we are keenly aware, no doubt, of the violence and death that are raining down on our world. Military empires, economic empires, ideological empires are all claiming the lives of good and innocent people in places far away, in places closer to home, in places in between, hour by hour and day by day and month by month. We must not minimize the violence and the death, nor would we be wise to forget the good news embodied even in the midst of crucifixions, where tea-bearing grandmothers protest, where children and youth do too, where multi-faith leaders refuse to let fear take root, singing resistance, and where wise elders show us the way, where forgiveness is offered while nailed to a cross. For in this war-torn world, we could also do the same. We could ground the bomber planes, empty the gun cartridges, unclench our fists, and soften our jaws. They say it can't be done. But don't believe them. In this war-torn world, we could try to love and love and love again. Let it be so. Amen.
Oh
it was about noon. Darkness fell on the whole land until 3 in the afternoon because of an eclipse of the sun. Then the curtain in the sanctuary was torn in two, and Jesus uttered a loud cry and said, "Abba, into your hands I commit my spirit." Saying this, Jesus breathed for the last time.